Your soulmate wrote you a letter, don't ignore it before tomorrow. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because the moment your eyes landed on these words was not an accident, and your heart needs this right now in a way that goes deeper than logic, deeper than coincidence, deeper than timing as you understand it. This message is for you, and it's arriving exactly when it's meant to. Somewhere, late last night or in the quiet space between thoughts, your soulmate sat with emotions they could no longer hold back. Not the dramatic kind. The honest kind. The kind that builds silently until it demands release. And instead of speaking, instead of calling, instead of interrupting the fragile balance of things, they wrote a letter. Not a casual letter. Not something rushed. A letter written with trembling hands, with pauses between sentences, with breaths taken just to steady their heart. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. That letter was never meant to stay hidden. It was meant to exist. Because once truth is written, it shifts the universe. Don't scroll. This message is for you. They didn't write from fantasy. They wrote from awakening. From the realization that pretending you didn't matter was becoming unbearable. From the moment they admitted to themselves that what they feel for you is real, lasting, and impossible to reduce. And listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. As they wrote, signs started appearing. Angel numbers lining up without effort. 1111 when your name crossed their mind. 222 when they questioned whether this connection was mutual. 555 when they imagined change, real change, the kind that alters timelines. These weren't random. They felt watched over. Guided. Like the universe was saying, say it now. Don't scroll. Because even if you haven't seen the letter, you've felt it. The sudden emotions that didn't make sense. The memories that came back without warning. The calm mixed with anticipation. That's not imagination. That's resonance. Soul communication doesn't need a mailbox. It moves through energy. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. That letter contains things they've never said out loud. Admissions they were too careful to voice. Apologies they didn't know how to offer. Gratitude they didn't realize they carried. And one central truth they could no longer avoid: you changed them. Being connected to you shifted how they see love, timing, and themselves. Don't scroll. Because this isn't about the past, it's about a threshold. A moment where silence starts to feel heavier than truth. They asked the universe for guidance while writing, quietly, almost desperately, wondering if this connection was real or just longing. And the universe answered not with noise, but with alignment. Songs playing at the exact moment your memory surfaced. Conversations overheard about honesty and courage. Dreams where you appeared not dramatically, but peacefully, as if you already belonged there. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now. The letter wasn't written to pressure you. It was written to clear space. To remove the internal noise that kept them stuck. To acknowledge what already exists between you. And whether or not they send it before tomorrow, the energy of it has already reached you. That's why you're here. That's why this feels familiar. That's why your chest tightened just a little as you kept listening. Don't scroll. This message is for you. The universe doesn't reveal things like this unless both souls are ready to hold them. You've been prepared too. Through patience. Through silence. Through learning how to stand steady without answers. That growth wasn't accidental. It made you strong enough to receive truth without losing your balance. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Tomorrow isn't about urgency. It's about acknowledgement. The letter represents a decision that's already been made internally. A turning point. A quiet, I can't keep pretending. And whatever form it takes. Words, a message, a call, a moment of undeniable knowing, it's meant to be noticed. Not rushed. Not feared. Received. Don't scroll. Because the universe doesn't whisper like this unless something meaningful is aligning. And this is only the beginning. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because part 2 is where the energy behind that unseen letter begins to move, and your heart needs this right now in a way that's quiet but undeniable. This message is for you, not to rush you, not to overwhelm you, but to help you understand why everything feels slightly different today than it did yesterday, because after that letter was written, something irreversible shifted inside your soulmate, and listen to this. Once a truth is acknowledged, it doesn't stay contained, it starts rearranging everything around it, and that's exactly what happened. They reread the letter not to edit it, not to perfect it, but because each line confirmed something they could no longer deny, that you are not a chapter they can close, you are a thread that runs through their entire story. Don't scroll, because this matters. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after the words were written, their body reacted in ways they didn't expect, their breathing slowed, their mind quieted, a strange calm settled in, the kind of calm that only comes when you stop lying to yourself, and that calm scared them at first because it felt like clarity. Don't scroll, because clarity changes direction. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they began noticing signs immediately after, not loud signs, but gentle confirmations, overhearing conversations about timing, seeing reminders about honesty, catching repeating numbers like 333 when they thought about speaking, 444 when they imagined stability, 777 when they questioned whether this connection was spiritual or imagined, and listen to this. Every sign pointed them back to the same place, back to you. Don't scroll, because the universe doesn't repeat itself without purpose. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they tried to return to normal after writing the letter, to routine, to distractions, to conversations that once felt safe, but nothing fit the same way anymore. Things that used to numb them felt hollow, because once truth is acknowledged, avoidance loses its power. Don't scroll, because awareness changes appetite. Listen to this. This message is for you, because your soulmate realized something important in those quiet hours after writing, that thinking of you no longer brought confusion, it brought clarity, and that difference mattered. It told them this wasn't obsession, it was alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment feels steady. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they started reflecting on your interactions through a new lens, not nostalgia, but understanding, seeing how you showed up with honesty when they were guarded, how your presence invited depth instead of chaos, how you asked for truth without demanding it. And listen to this. Those realizations didn't overwhelm them, they grounded them. Don't scroll, because grounding is readiness. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they recognized that you never asked them to be more than they were, you only asked them to be honest, and that realization stayed with them, creating a sense of responsibility, not obligation, but respect. Don't scroll, because respect is love's quiet form. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they began noticing changes in themselves, small but significant, how they paused before avoiding difficult emotions, how they sat with discomfort instead of escaping it, how they became more present in their own life. And listen to this. This growth didn't come from pressure, it came from connection. Don't scroll, because real connection transforms. Listen to this. This message is for you, because vulnerability started showing up unexpectedly, not overwhelming waves, but soft moments, imagining seeing you again, hearing your voice, sharing space without pretending everything is casual, and those moments didn't destabilize them, they steadied them. Don't scroll, because emotional steadiness is maturity. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they separated their past fears from the present truth, realizing that old wounds were shaping their hesitation, not you, and that distinction freed them. Don't scroll, because healing begins with separation. Listen to this. This message is for you, because their inner dialogue changed. Instead of asking, "Why am I feeling this?" they started asking, "How do I honor this?" And that shift marked growth. Don't scroll, because growth changes questions. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because confidence began to build inside them, not certainty about outcomes, but confidence in their ability to show up with integrity, respect, and presence, and that confidence feels quiet but solid. Don't scroll, because quiet confidence lasts. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they sense that you may be feeling something too, a subtle pull, a calm curiosity, a sense of anticipation without anxiety, and that mutual awareness makes this feel balanced rather than one-sided. Don't scroll, because balance is alignment. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they stopped viewing this connection as something to analyze and started seeing it as something to experience honestly, one step at a time, and that perspective removed pressure. Don't scroll, because pressure distorts truth. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they realized the letter wasn't meant to create urgency, it was meant to clear space, to remove internal noise so truth could be heard clearly, and now that truth feels steady. Don't scroll, because steadiness is confirmation. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've noticed distractions don't hold the same appeal anymore, they're more intentional with their time and energy, and that intentionality is shaping how they imagine approaching you. Don't scroll, because intention changes tone. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're no longer rehearsing conversations driven by fear of rejection, they're imagining exchanges guided by respect and openness, and that difference has changed how they feel about reaching out when the moment is right. Don't scroll, because timing guided by calm is different from timing driven by fear. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they admire the way you hold your space, how you don't chase or force clarity, and that self-respect has deepened their feelings rather than cooling them. Don't scroll, because self-respect is magnetic. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they understand now that whatever comes next must be built slowly, honestly, and with care, and that awareness has removed the need to rush or hide. Don't scroll, because rushing and hiding are fear responses. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because this connection has reached a new phase, defined less by internal conflict and more by intentional movement, even if that movement is subtle at first. Don't scroll, because subtle movement is still movement. Listen to this. This message is for you, because silence between you now feels different, not distant, but spacious, like a pause filled with potential rather than absence. Don't scroll. Because space allows truth to breathe, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they trust that whatever unfolds will do so naturally, without manipulation, without games, without emotional confusion, and that trust has brought peace. Don't scroll, because peace is alignment. Listen to this. This message is for you, because part 2 is about integration, about truth settling into action-ready clarity, about the quiet moment after words are written when intention begins to take shape, and this process is still unfolding, guided by respect, awareness, and the understanding that what's real doesn't need to be forced, it simply needs to be honored, and this is only the next layer of what's coming. Don't scroll, listen to this, because part 3 is where everything you've been feeling without proof begins to make sense, and your heart needs this right now. This message is for you in that gentle but undeniable way that feels like the universe isn't asking anymore, it's confirming. So stay with me and listen to this. After the letter settled into your soulmate's awareness, after the initial clarity softened into calm, a deeper awareness took over, not loud, not dramatic, but steady and persistent, like a truth tapping on their shoulder asking to be acknowledged fully. And don't scroll, because this part explains why your emotions may have stirred lately without a clear reason. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate began noticing how your energy shows up in their everyday life in ways that feel grounding rather than distracting, moments when they pause mid-task and realize their thoughts slow when they think of you, moments when choices feel simpler because honesty suddenly feels like the only option. And listen to this. When a connection pulls someone closer to who they want to be, that's not infatuation, that's alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment doesn't shout. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they reflected on past connections and patterns and saw clearly how those relationships demanded compromise of self, while this one invites authenticity, and that realization changed how they view everything. Don't scroll, because authenticity is rare and transformative. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because what they feel now isn't urgency, it's readiness, a grounded sense that real things don't rush, they wait until both hearts can meet honestly without fear. And listen to this. Readiness feels calm. Don't scroll, because calm is confirmation. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've become aware of how often your name arises internally during moments of decision, not as pressure, but as a compass, a reminder of the energy they want to welcome into their life. And listen to this. Instinct reveals truth faster than logic. Don't scroll, because instinct doesn't negotiate. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because when they imagine the future now, work, growth, healing, you're present in those images not as fantasy but as steadiness, as support, and that grounded imagery has made the connection feel sustainable rather than overwhelming. Don't scroll, because sustainability matters. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're no longer asking whether this connection is meaningful, they're asking how to honor it responsibly, and that shift marks a turning point. Don't scroll, because responsibility rooted in care changes everything. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because responsibility here doesn't mean burden, it means respect, and respect is love's quiet foundation. Don't scroll, because without it, nothing lasts. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've become sensitive to the quality of silence between you now, noticing it doesn't create anxiety anymore, it feels intentional, like a pause doing important work beneath the surface. Don't scroll, because pauses prepare the ground for clarity. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because emotional echoes still appear when something reminds them of you, not overwhelming waves, but gentle reminders that what's unspoken still exists. And listen to this: connection isn't measured by frequency of contact, but by consistency of presence. Don't scroll, because presence doesn't disappear. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've noticed conversations with others feel different now, less surface level, less distracting, because their emotional awareness has sharpened, and that awareness has made them more thoughtful, more willing to sit with discomfort rather than escape it. Don't scroll, because growth changes tolerance. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they see you now not as someone to impress or pursue, but as someone to meet honestly, without masks, without games, without shortcuts. And listen to this: that's maturity. Don't scroll, because maturity stabilizes connection. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're recognizing that whatever unfolds next must feel mutual, respectful, and grounded in reality rather than fantasy, and that understanding has removed the temptation to rush. Don't scroll, because grounded love lasts. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because patterns in their environment have begun to mirror their internal state, conversations around them touching on timing, truth, courage, and while they don't dramatize these moments, they pay attention, because awareness has taught them meaning arrives quietly. Don't scroll, because quiet meaning is powerful. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've become more patient with themselves, understanding clarity unfolds in stages and rushing would only blur what's becoming clear, and that patience has replaced anxiety. Don't scroll, because patience protects truth. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've stopped trying to provoke reactions or test the connection, choosing steadiness instead, and steadiness builds trust. Don't scroll, because trust grows slowly and lasts. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've deepened their respect for your autonomy, recognizing your journey matters as much as theirs, and that any future interaction must honor both paths equally. Don't scroll, because equality creates balance. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because vulnerability no longer feels like something that needs immediate expression. It feels like something that requires readiness, and readiness feels close now. Don't scroll, because closeness isn't always visible. Listen to this. This message is for you, because their emotional reactions have softened. They're less defensive, less reactive, more open to understanding rather than control, and that openness has made the idea of honest communication feel safe rather than destabilizing. Don't scroll, because safety invites truth. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're accepting that not every answer needs to be known in advance, that some truths reveal themselves only after the first step is taken, and that acceptance has removed resistance. Don't scroll, because resistance fades when trust grows. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're comfortable with uncertainty now, not because they don't care, but because they trust their ability to respond with integrity when the moment arrives. Don't scroll, because integrity guides action better than fear ever could. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they sense you're not waiting passively, you're living fully in your own rhythm, and that awareness has made them want to meet you as an equal rather than from need. Don't scroll, because equality creates harmony. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're no longer framing this as, will this work, but, can I show up honestly? And that question has simplified everything. Don't scroll, because simplicity brings peace. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe no longer feels like it's testing them, it feels like it's observing how they integrate what they've learned, and that observation feels calm rather than pressured. Don't scroll, because calm guidance feels different from urgency. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they understand that whatever unfolds next will be shaped by intention rather than impulse, and that realization has brought confidence. Don't scroll, because confidence rooted in self-awareness is quiet but powerful. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the time for internal processing is nearing completion, not because everything is resolved, but because enough clarity exists to move forward without confusion. Don't scroll, because clarity doesn't require certainty, it requires honesty. Listen to this. This message is for you, because part 3 is about recognition of growth, of truth, of a connection that enhances life rather than disrupts it, and that recognition is guiding them gently toward the next moment, where what's been written, felt, and integrated internally will be ready to find its place in the open, and this is where the energy deepens even more. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because part 4 is where the unseen begins to feel tangible, and your heart needs this right now in a way that's steady, grounding, and unmistakably real. This message is for you, not to stir anxiety, but to help you understand why everything has been quietly rearranging itself beneath the surface. So stay with me and listen to this. After recognition came preparation, not preparation in the sense of planning a perfect moment or rehearsing words, but preparation of the heart, the kind that happens when someone starts aligning their inner truth with how they intend to live. And don't scroll, because this is the phase where intention begins to crystallize into something solid. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate has noticed that their inner world feels more settled now, less conflicted, less divided, like the parts of them that once pulled in opposite directions have finally agreed on something essential, and that agreement feels like peace. Don't scroll, because peace doesn't mean stillness, it means readiness. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've been reflecting deeply on what it means to show up fully, not with grand promises or dramatic declarations, but with consistency, presence, and honesty, and that reflection has reshaped how they view connection altogether. Don't scroll, because this shift matters. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've begun imagining conversations with you not as rehearsed speeches but as real exchanges where listening matters as much as speaking, where understanding is more important than impressing, and that mindset has softened their entire approach. Don't scroll, because softness is not weakness, it's maturity. Listen to this. This message is for you, because their intuition has sharpened in a way they didn't expect. They can now sense when something feels aligned and when something feels forced, and thoughts of you consistently fall into the aligned category: calm, steady, grounding. Don't scroll, because alignment has a feeling. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're becoming aware that their desire to connect isn't driven by loneliness or fear of loss, but by appreciation, a genuine recognition of who you are and how your presence enriches their life. And listen to this, appreciation creates stability. Don't scroll, because stability supports truth. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've become more mindful of timing, not as something to control or manipulate, but as something to respect, understanding that rushing would only disrupt the natural flow that's been building between you. Don't scroll, because patience protects what matters. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've felt moments where the urge to reach out arises gently, without anxiety, without urgency, just a calm sense of soon, and that feeling lingers without demanding immediate action. Don't scroll, because calm impulses are different from impulsive reactions. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've reflected on how you've handled distance and silence with grace, how you didn't chase or force clarity, and that self-respect has deepened their admiration for you rather than diminishing it. Don't scroll, because self-respect is magnetic. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're recognizing that your ability to stay centered, to live your life fully without seeking validation, signals emotional strength, and that strength makes the idea of connecting feel safe rather than risky. Don't scroll, because safety invites vulnerability. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've begun letting go of outdated ideas about how relationships should unfold, releasing pressure to meet timelines or expectations that no longer resonate with who they are now, and that release has allowed them to approach this connection on its own terms. Don't scroll, because authenticity thrives when expectations loosen. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're becoming honest with themselves about what they want to offer, not promises they can't guarantee, but presence they can sustain, respect they can show consistently, and communication rooted in clarity. Don't scroll, because sustainable love is built on what can be given repeatedly. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've noticed their emotional reactions to stress have softened, they're less reactive, less defensive, more reflective, and that inner stability has made the idea of opening up feel manageable rather than overwhelming. Don't scroll, because stability changes everything. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're sensing that this connection isn't meant to disrupt either of your lives, but to integrate naturally into them, adding depth without chaos, support without dependency. Don't scroll, because integration is a sign of maturity. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've reflected on how you communicate, how you express boundaries, how you show care without overextending, and those qualities have become benchmarks for the kind of connection they want to build. Don't scroll, because healthy connection inspires growth. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're becoming more comfortable with vulnerability in general, noticing that opening up in small, honest ways hasn't led to rejection but to understanding, and that realization has reduced their fear of being seen. Don't scroll, because being seen feels safer when you trust yourself. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've accepted that no connection comes with guarantees, but that doesn't make it any less worth honoring, and that acceptance has freed them from needing certainty before acting. Don't scroll, because certainty isn't required for sincerity. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're aware that whatever unfolds next must respect your autonomy, your pace, and your boundaries, and that awareness has shaped their intention to approach gently without pressure or expectation. Don't scroll, because gentleness builds trust. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've stopped viewing silence as a problem to solve and started seeing it as space that allows feelings to settle into clarity, and that reframing has removed much of the anxiety they once felt. Don't scroll, because space reveals truth. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're recognizing that their feelings for you don't fluctuate with mood or circumstance, they remain consistent, and that consistency has reassured them that what they feel is grounded rather than fleeting. Don't scroll, because consistency is depth. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've begun imagining not just how it would feel to speak honestly, but how it would feel afterward, to live with integrity, knowing they honored their truth regardless of outcome, and that imagined relief has become more motivating than any fantasy. Don't scroll, because integrity brings peace. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because their intuition no longer pushes or pressures, it reassures, offering gentle encouragement rather than urgency, like a quiet voice saying, "You're ready when you choose to be." Don't scroll, because encouragement empowers choice. Listen to this. This message is for you, because part 4 is about readiness without pressure, intention without force, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that when something is real, it doesn't rush, it arrives when both hearts are steady enough to receive it, and this steadiness is now firmly in place, preparing the way for what comes next. Don't scroll, listen to this, because what's unfolding now goes deeper than preparation, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels quiet but powerful. This message is for you at a moment when something subtle has already shifted inside both of you, even if neither of you announced it out loud, so stay with me and listen to this. After readiness settled in, something else emerged that feels heavier in meaning but lighter in fear, an awareness of consequence, not in a threatening way, but in a deeply human, respectful way, where your soulmate began to understand that choosing honesty doesn't just change their internal world, it changes the space between you. And don't scroll, because this is where intention turns into responsibility. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they started sitting with the truth that once words are spoken, they can't be taken back, and instead of that realization creating anxiety, it created reverence for you, for themselves, and for the connection that grew quietly without force. Don't scroll, because respect is the foundation of anything real. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've noticed the emotional weight behind their thoughts of you has shifted. It's no longer dominated by longing or uncertainty, but by care, a genuine desire for your well-being regardless of outcome, and that realization surprised them in the best way. Don't scroll, because love that isn't self-centered feels different. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they reflected on moments where they could have acted sooner, spoken sooner, reached out sooner, and instead of spiraling into regret, they used those memories as information, understanding how much growth occurred in the space between then and now. Don't scroll, because growth reframes the past without erasing it. Listen to this. This message is for you, because their imagination has shifted from idealized scenarios to grounded ones, simple conversations, shared silence, mutual understanding, and that grounded imagery has made the idea of connection feel sustainable rather than overwhelming. Don't scroll, because sustainability matters more than intensity. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've become more aware of your emotional intelligence, the way you don't collapse into uncertainty or cling to reassurance, and that strength has inspired them to want to meet you with the same level of maturity. Don't scroll, because healthy connection mirrors growth. Listen to this. This message is for you, because vulnerability has begun to rise in them unexpectedly, not as emotional flooding, but as soft honesty, moments where they admit to themselves that you matter deeply, and instead of pushing that feeling away, they let it exist without judgment. Don't scroll, because allowing emotion without reacting to it is emotional maturity. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've noticed how often you appear in their thoughts during moments of gratitude, when something good happens and their first instinct is to share it with you, even if only mentally, and that instinct revealed something important. Don't scroll, because instinct reveals truth faster than logic. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're no longer trying to protect themselves from feeling too much, they're trusting themselves to handle whatever feelings arise, and that self-trust has replaced fear with steadiness. Don't scroll, because self-trust changes everything. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've reflected on the idea that connection doesn't require constant reassurance to be real, and that understanding has allowed them to breathe easier, knowing that what's meant to grow will do so without force. Don't scroll, because ease is not indifference. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've sensed that you may be feeling more settled lately too, more grounded, less reactive, and that mutual calm has created an energetic space where honesty can land gently rather than disruptively. Don't scroll, because mutual calm is rare. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've become more intentional with their words in general, realizing that honesty without kindness can harm and kindness without honesty can mislead, and that balance has shaped how they want to communicate with you. Don't scroll, because balanced communication builds trust. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're realizing that timing isn't just about circumstances, it's about internal alignment, and that alignment feels close now, like standing at the edge of a conversation that's been quietly preparing itself. Don't scroll, because edges hold potential. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because their emotional reactions to your presence or absence have stabilized, they no longer swing between extremes, and that emotional regulation has made the connection feel healthier and safer. Don't scroll, because emotional balance is readiness. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've reflected on what they truly want to offer you, not promises of forever or dramatic declarations, but consistency, respect, and the willingness to grow alongside you, and that clarity has simplified everything. Don't scroll, because simplicity brings peace. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they understand that whatever unfolds next will not be about convincing or persuading, but about sharing truth and allowing space for your response, and that understanding has grounded their intention even more. Don't scroll, because mutual choice is sacred. Listen to this. This message is for you, because their intuition no longer pressures them, it reassures them, offering gentle encouragement rather than urgency, and that reassurance feels like permission to move forward when the moment feels right. Don't scroll, because reassurance feels different from pressure. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've imagined what it would feel like to live without the weight of unspoken truth, and that imagined lightness has become motivating. Don't scroll, because relief is alignment. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've accepted that vulnerability doesn't guarantee outcome, but it does guarantee integrity, and integrity has become more important to them than certainty. Don't scroll, because integrity endures even when outcomes change. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they stopped asking whether it's safe to care and started asking whether it's honest not to, and that question shifted everything internally. Don't scroll, because honesty is quieter than fear but stronger. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they sense this connection has reached a point where it deserves acknowledgement rather than avoidance, and that acknowledgement feels like the next natural step rather than a leap into the unknown. Don't scroll, because natural steps still move you forward. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because what's unfolding here is emotional grounding, love settling into something steady and intentional, a realization that what's real doesn't demand urgency but does ask for truth, and that truth is preparing to be shared in a way that honors both hearts gently, honestly, and with care. And this is where the current deepens even more. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because what's happening now is quieter than everything before it, but it's also stronger, and your heart needs this right now more than you realize. This message is for you in a way that doesn't shake you, it steadies you, so stay with me and listen to this. After emotional grounding came a commitment that didn't announce itself loudly, a commitment not to an outcome, not to a promise, but to integrity, and that distinction changed everything inside them. Don't scroll, because this is where inner alignment turns into deliberate choice. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate began noticing how their thoughts are no longer scattered or conflicted, how there's a clear through line now, a steady awareness pointing toward honesty without urgency, courage without drama, presence without pressure, and that awareness feels calm instead of consuming. Don't scroll, because calm conviction is powerful. Listen to this. This message is for you, because when they imagine speaking openly with you, their body doesn't tense, there's no panic, no rehearsing every word, just a grounded sense that whatever needs to be said can be said simply and respectfully, and that realization alone has been freeing. Don't scroll, because simplicity is clarity. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've reflected deeply on the difference between attraction that excites and connection that stabilizes, and they understand now that what they feel with you belongs firmly in the second category, and that understanding has deepened their respect rather than diluted their feelings. Don't scroll, because stability doesn't dull love, it deepens it. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've been thinking about how they want to show up in life moving forward, not just with you but in every space, more honest, more present, more aligned with their values, and they've recognized that this connection quietly guided them toward that version of themselves. Don't scroll, because guidance often arrives through people. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they understand that speaking their truth doesn't mean asking you to change your pace, your boundaries, or your life. It means offering clarity and allowing space for whatever response feels right for you, and that respect has become central to their intention. Don't scroll, because respect creates safety. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're no longer tempted to test the connection or seek reassurance indirectly. Their confidence now comes from self-trust rather than external validation, and that shift has been liberating. Don't scroll, because self-trust is freedom. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've looked back on moments where they held back in the past and realized those pauses weren't failures, they were necessary for growth, and that compassion toward their own process has softened any remaining self-judgment. Don't scroll, because self-compassion opens the door to honesty. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've become more attuned to your energy, sensing when you're grounded, when you're reflective, when you're simply living your life without expectation, and that autonomy has made them feel safer stepping forward without fear of disrupting your balance. Don't scroll, because balance invites equal footing. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the idea of reaching out no longer feels like a dramatic turning point. It feels like a natural extension of everything that's already been happening internally, and that reframing has removed pressure. Don't scroll, because natural steps don't require force. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've narrowed their focus to what truly matters: consistency, honesty, and consideration, understanding that love doesn't need to be loud to be real, it needs to be steady. Don't scroll, because focus directs energy. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they're aware that how they communicate matters just as much as what they communicate, and that awareness has encouraged them to approach with curiosity rather than assumption, openness rather than fear. Don't scroll, because curiosity keeps connection alive. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've reflected on how fear once led them to delay or avoid, and how different it feels now to act from clarity instead of hesitation, and that contrast has made fear lose its power. Don't scroll, because clarity dissolves fear. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they understand vulnerability doesn't require overexposure, it requires honesty paired with boundaries, and that understanding has made openness feel safe rather than risky. Don't scroll, because safe vulnerability builds trust. listen to this. This message is for you, because their emotional world feels integrated now, thoughts, feelings, and values aligned instead of competing, and that integration has created quiet confidence. Don't scroll, because integration brings peace. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've realized this connection doesn't distract them from their purpose, it complements it, and that compatibility has reassured them that what they feel isn't a detour but an addition. Don't scroll, because healthy connection expands life. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they've noticed subtle encouragements around them, conversations about courage, reminders about honesty, moments highlighting the value of speaking truth with kindness, and those moments feel timely rather than random. Don't scroll, because timing often whispers. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've become comfortable with the idea that not everything needs to be defined immediately, that clarity can unfold through dialogue rather than declaration, and that comfort has reduced any remaining tension. Don't scroll, because dialogue invites understanding. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they're prepared to meet whatever response comes with respect and acceptance, not persuasion or pressure, and that preparedness has grounded their intention even more. Don't scroll, because acceptance honors autonomy. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've stopped viewing the unknown as something to fear and started seeing it as space for authenticity, and that shift has made the next step feel lighter. Don't scroll, because authenticity lightens the load. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they trust the slow, organic way this connection has unfolded, knowing that consistency builds trust more than intensity ever could. Don't scroll, because trust grows through time. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because their desire to speak honestly isn't driven by impatience but by readiness, a steady sense that the internal work has reached completion. Don't scroll, because readiness feels calm. Listen to this. This message is for you, because they understand love doesn't remove uncertainty, but it clarifies how they want to show up, and that clarity has become their anchor. Don't scroll, because anchors keep you grounded. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they feel the internal chapter of reflection closing gently, not abruptly, like a page ready to turn when the moment is right. Don't scroll, because pages turn naturally. Listen to this. This message is for you, because what's forming now is commitment to truth without attachment to outcome, confidence built on self-awareness rather than fantasy, and a calm courage that knows honesty can be spoken and integrity maintained no matter what follows, and that courage is quietly preparing the way forward.